Welcome to the Book Buzz Show with Cheryl, where we dive into the captivating world of books. Here at the Book Buzz Show, we encourage you to make your pages turn with joy and immerse yourself in a magical literary experience. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Book Buzz Show with Cheryl, where we dive into the captivating world of books. Here at the Book Buzz Show, we encourage you to make your pages turn with joy and immerse yourself in a magical literary experience. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome to the Book Buzz Show. I am your host, Cheryl Brooks. And if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. And if you enjoy the upcoming show, please like, follow, subscribe, and share the broadcast. Also, for those of you who are new here at the Book Buzz Show, we do discuss the book and the characters with minor spoilers, but we don't give anything major away that would ruin your reading enjoyment. Just enough to hopefully whet your appetite to make you want to go out and get the book that we're discussing. Also, in addition to being a live stream broadcast, the Book Buzz Show is also a podcast, so you can check us out when you're on the go at the Book Buzz Show with Cheryl, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, for those who are new here, this season we started doing having a second segment where me and my co-host give our highlights of the week, and it's usually a book that we thoroughly enjoyed. It doesn't have to be anything recent, but something that stuck with us that we wanted to share with other book lovers. So please make sure to stick around for that portion of the show during our second segment. All right, I am excited about our show tonight. This is my first time having the author on the show and also reading her for the first time. And I thoroughly enjoy her book. And here is the cover on the screen for those watching. All right, it is Brown Sugar by Marlee Rae. And I love this cover too. As you all know, I love a good book cover. So I love this cover. And again, I love this book. It's book one in the She Is series. I believe it's two more books in the series, and this is book one. So I can't wait to get into talking about the book and the characters with my guest for tonight. Again, for those who are listening later, that's Brown's Sugar by Marlee Rae. All right, and without further ado, I'm going to bring on tonight's guest, along with my co-host this evening, Jennifer Copeland. Hello, and welcome to the show, Marlee Rae. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And let me see. Looks like we have a few people in the audience. Hi, Erica. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Myra. Thank you for joining us this evening. Looks like we have Kendra in the audience. Thank you for joining us. And Zahara, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you for joining us. And we also have Instagram. Jennifer, is yours up? It seemed like mine went down.
Yeah, Sherelle from the Book Readers Review is watching.
Okay. All right. And welcome on Instagram. The comments don't show in the main feed, so we'll keep an eye over there in case you have any questions or anything. And you have a couple people saying hello to you, Marlee. All right. So we're going right into it. For those who are new to you, like myself, can you give us a little background and how you got started on your professional writing journey?
Oh, yeah. So the writing started, and again, I apologize for my voice. It kind of left me today. My writing started in 2018. It's been about 8 years now. So
Okay.
I started, writing. Really, it was therapeutic for me, because I recently lost my mom, and it was
I'm
one of the
so sorry.
things that kind of kept me going afterwards. It was something that, where it didn't have commercials, there was no TV, there was nothing. So I started writing, but before that, I started reading. And when I kind of found this great group of Black women that were writing books, I found them on Facebook and all the independent authors. I read so many of their books to the point they kind of inspired me to create my own story. So that's kind of how it happened.
Okay. So did you always like kind of write, or did you just jump right in and start writing a few years ago?
So no, so writing was like a punishment for me. I actually hated writing. So yeah, the last thing that I really wrote was probably when I was in school. But after
Mm,
that, I was more of a reader. I just did not like writing, and I don't know what happened. Something turned, and I just fell in love with it. So here I
okay.
am now writing.
I love that, and I love hearing the different backstories of the authors because you never know. It varies how everyone got
Mhm.
into this writing industry. This uh, sorry, something popped up on my screen. Okay, so what do you know now that you wish you had known when you first started out?
Oh my goodness. That's that's a hard question. So I really wish I had, at the time when I first started, I questioned everything. And I was like, no, everybody has to like your book. So you have to write it for everybody.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
one thing that I know now is that I could go back and tell myself is just tell the story,
Mm,
and you're not going to be for everybody. Everybody can't like everything.
right.
Writing and literature, it's like art, it's like clothes, it's like food. We don't all like the same things, and that's okay. So you write what makes you happy, and as long as you're pleased with the story in the end, that's all
Mhm.
that matters. But in the beginning, it wasn't like that. I would write, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna sound good. I don't think anybody will. So I continue to second guess myself, but now not anymore. Mm-mm. I write the story, whatever the people tell me to say. That's what I write, and that's it.
So do you outline, or are you more of a pantser? You just go by whatever comes, it just flows, or do you do any kind of outline?
No, I don't do an outline at all. I just sit down. I may have thoughts about like different scenes or different scenarios, and I may keep notes about it, but an outline, I think it boxes me in too much. So
Mm,
I just sit down and I start writing, because anytime, even if I did do an outline, it wouldn't matter, because once I sit down,
right.
I write something completely different. So it doesn't matter what happens. It's I just sit down and whatever the people tell me to say, that's what I type.
I love that you say the people. I love
Mhm,
it.
mhm. I always say
um,
it's like, yeah, it's like a movie. It's like I can see a movie in my head and I'm just transcribing, and that's it. So whatever's
mhm.
going on, that's what I write.
Now, and I usually ask authors this who I know write series. How
Mhm.
do you keep the characters straight? Do you do like a character Bible to keep their like specific personalities or specific information about them?
That
Uh,
would probably be smart, but no, I do not. No, I climb the rough side of the mountain. That's what I do. I'm just out here. Yeah, I'm out here. I'll jot things down, and if a character comes to mind while I'm writing, I'm like, oh, let me put them in the story, and then they
hmm
just take on a life of their own or whatever. But really, most of it just stays with me, so I can remember pretty much any main character from any book. I remember everything about them. So
Okay.
yeah,
And I'm sure stuff like this helps too when you're talking about them over and over again, the
right.
characters and all of that. Yeah,
Hmm.
love that. Um, Now this is something I ask romance authors who come on. When you're looking for a good romance, what is your go-to as far as a movie or a book, either or? When you're looking for a good romance to watch or to read.
Ah, that's a hard question. I would say I would probably go with a movie, and I think the movie would be I love this old movie with Vivica Fox and Morris Chestnut. Two can play that game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just like their banter, and I like the playfulness of it. And I don't take stuff too seriously like that, so that's why I was like, I love that movie. I've always loved it because just of the playfulness of it. So
Yeah, and you're the first person who said that movie. I love that because we got the last like 4 shows. We got Love Jones,
mhm,
and we got Pretty Woman once. But yeah, this is the first one for Two Can Play That Game. I like that, and I
mhm.
haven't watched it in a while. I might have to do a
Yeah,
rewatch of that.
it's a cute movie. It's really cute.
Hmm.
I like Love Jones too. I like Love Jones. I like the
Hmm.
music from Love Jones more than anything.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Now I'm a reader who loves when music and dancing is incorporated into a story. So I was all in Brown Sugar when you had the dance scenes and all of that. Loved it, loved it. So what is, and I'm probably putting you on the spot. What is one of your favorite love songs?
Ooh, okay. So I love Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh,
I,
me too.
so, yes,
Oh,
I
me three.
love I love Teddy Pendergrass. So pretty much anything by Teddy Pendergrass or when he was with Harold Melville in the Blue Notes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I
That
like
voice, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Hmm. Good one, good one. And Zahara saying Love and Basketball. We've had Love and Basketball too mentioned on the show, yes.
Mhm.
Even though lately people have been saying that that was a toxic relationship because of how play me for your heart and all that stuff. That was her saying play me for your heart because
Uh-huh.
he checked out for a minute. But
Hmm.
yeah, I still love it. I love it. Um, and how do you celebrate when you finish a book? Do you do anything special?
I not really. Not really. I'm just excited that it's finished and that it's complete. And I try not to think about it, anymore because
Mm.
you'll get to thinking like, oh, I should have did this, I should have did that. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I can see that. We got some saying I love Mel Mellor saying love Teddy Pendergrass too, and Myra saying what about Al Green? Yeah, I love Al Green too. My husband actually loves Al Green.
Hmm.
Yes, some great love songs right there. Um, okay, so we're going to get into the book and the characters a bit. For those
Okay.
who haven't read Brown Sugar yet, can you give a brief overview of what it's about? Do you remember?
Oh wait. Oh, I thought you were talking to Jennifer. I'm sorry.
Oh. No, I was saying, do you remember? Because sometimes I know authors, they like if they haven't been like talking about it a while and they've written other stuff, they'll forget.
No, I do remember. So Brown Sugar is the first book in the very first series of the She Is series. So Brown Sugar it's like a long standing high school crush, but it's one sided. So
Right.
the opposite party knows nothing about this crush. So and he is just the ultimate bachelor. He's never been married. He doesn't have any kids, and I mean he think he is hot. So so it's kind of them connecting and him becoming really really humble over the course of the book where it's good to see a person who's never been in love truly
Right.
fall in love, especially at this age, and understanding how love works and how it's not how you think it is. So
Hmm.
it's just kind of their journey, but it's also her journey as well into entrepreneurship with her sisters.
Hmm.
So it's kind of two sided. It's her falling in love with finally getting this guy that she's
Been
like
crushing on, right?
this freshman year of high school, and this we 20, 30 years later, she's finally getting her chance with him.
Right.
And but she also understands she's been in love, so she's also very realistic about her expectations. So yeah, it's just kind of their journey. And then since the book is more centered around her,
Hmm.
focus is on her livelihood, which is her starting the journey with her sisters and their spice shop.
Yes, and I actually it gave me a lot of the things that I love reading about. I love strong family bonds, and you
Mhm.
get that in the story. You get friendships, and of course the romance and the what's the trope with the brothers friend? I don't know if they were best friends though in this one. They were friends, right?
Which one is that?
Dre and Tanya's brother, weren't they friends?
Oh, so no, Dre was best friends with her sister-in-law, which is Dawn.
Oh, that's right, the
Right.
sister-in-law. Okay,
The
yeah, yeah,
sister-in-law.
yeah. So he just knew the brother, but he knew him through Dawn.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right. So, um, and as Erica was saying, my man Dre, yeah, I like Dre too. And you know what else I liked? I liked that they, because wasn't Dre, I know they were older because Tanya, I believe, was in her 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And Dre, I think they said 50s, maybe.
No, he wasn't 50 yet. He's in
Okay.
late 40s, and she is about 42 in the story.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I like that they're mature characters.
Yeah, because
And
I
have
think
had.
he was like 47. I
Right.
Okay.
think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they both had lives,
Right.
lived lives and stuff. So I love that aspect of it too. And like you mentioned, I love the aspect of the three sisters going into business together,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the uniqueness of the business. I love that. How did
Mm-hmm.
you come up with that concept as far as them having like different infused like spices and sugars and honeys?
So I modeled it after there's a store that's Black woman owned in DC called the Spice Suite. So I kind of
Okay.
modeled the store after the Spice Suite because I love that shop. But I wanted all of the sisters to be involved with it, and so I gave them just kind of individual things, and
Hmm.
I came up with the acronym, the she is, the sugar, honey, and everything spice. So I was like, okay, well maybe I can divide them up into different things, and so that's how it kind of evolved or whatever.
I love that, and I love that it's based off a actual store. I'm gonna have to check it out, even though I live in a
Hmm.
different city.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would love to check that out. And well, and for those in the audience, we were talking off camera. Um, I had Bailey Westwood not too long ago, and we were talking about her the new Whip and Fade is a Whip and Fade series,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and hers is a Nuri, and then Marlee Rae's is Macy,
Hmm.
um, and in that world too, and so I don't know about I haven't read Macy yet, but in the
Hmm.
Nuri, the male main character also had like a unique career with his coffees, the different
Hmm.
blends of
Hmm.
coffee.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're all in the same city as so the Spice Shop is across the street from the coffee shop that's in the Nuri's book.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So Kahawa Coffee Shop is across the street. So Bailey and I kind of created this alternate
This
universe.
world. Okay.
Right. Uh-huh. This Greenwood that's based in St. Louis. And we created this entire municipality with different Black owned businesses and things like
Hmm.
that. So everybody does kind of something different. And then the Whip and Fade barbershop is next door to the Spice Shop.
Yes, and I noticed that when I was reading this story that Anuri was came in, so she had a cameo, and
Mhm.
and they mentioned the shop, so I love
Uh-huh.
that aspect. Um, and you mentioned this about as far as your pick for what would be your go-to romance. I love this in your story because that's one of the things that was stood out to me is the easy banter between Dre and Tanya. I loved their vibe from the beginning. It was just so easy, and um, Tanya's sense of humor and how she brought that out in Dre. Basically,
Hmm. Hmm.
love that. Do you incorporate that in most of your stories?
I I try to because I think that, a boring relationship is no fun. So I think that both people, if it's gonna work, I think that you have to have good personalities, and I should say that's for me personally. So if if there's no jokes involved, we're probably not gonna make it too long. So I think that when I create my characters, it's kind of the same thing. It has to be some jokes involved, some type of levity, or something where you can laugh at each other and have a good time. Or I mean, or what are you really doing?
Right,
You know?
right.
Yeah. So
And I love that too. When the couple can make each other laugh and
mhm.
have fun. And Jennifer, what were your impression of Tanya and Dre?
I loved them from the very first, from the beginning, when he took her home to her mom and her dad's house after that show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love it. I say this all the time. So if you've been on in the audience, um, I love strong family dynamics. So, and I love the aspect of a blended family in this one,
Mhm.
and how Brock, they consider Brock, even though that's not wasn't their he's their stepfather, but
Mhm.
you know he considers them his kids as well, besides his own biological children. So I love that.
Yeah, and normally in pretty much any book I write, you are going to get some family. It's just the way it is because I don't know a world existing without family and friends. So it
Hmm.
would be hard for me to write something where someone has no family and no friends because
Right.
I don't know what that feels like. So I always and they're very important. So I always include family in a book. I mean, I don't care how short the book is. You gonna
Hmm.
get some family. You gonna get a mama, a daddy, a sister, or a cousin. You getting somebody. You getting some family.
And I think it's important to showcase
Hmm.
the that we as people, black people, that we do come from strong, happy, um, positive families, because it's not always portrayed. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely a positive influence as well, where they
Hmm.
help each other, and it's not a toxic relationship.
Right.
Even when you mentioned kind of the sister where we
Right.
talked about earlier. Even with her having her trials and tribulations, they still loved her. They understood what she was going through, and they all worked it out. So you
Hmm.
have different kind of beefs in the family, but it doesn't
Right.
mean that you don't love each other. It's just human nature.
Right, and it came through as I was reading. The love was always there,
Mhm.
regardless of if they were having an argument or a disagreement. That always came through, so I love that.
Mhm.
Okay, so we always on the show give like our heartfelt moments, standout moments, lighthearted, if it whatever applies. But one of my standouts in the book was because I just said I love dancing, so them dancing in the street,
Mhm.
Tanya and Dre. I
Uh-huh.
love that. And then the news picking it up, and then everybody getting to see. Of course, they didn't know that was going to happen, but
Mhm.
I love that
Mhm.
aspect of it too. That was a
Yeah.
standout moment for me. What
Yeah. I
about
think.
you, Jennifer?
Yeah.
That was one of my, when they was on the cruise and she sung to Dre. That was another
Oh
standout
yes,
moment for me too.
yes, I love that. What was your favorite to write, Marlon?
I would probably say I would probably say that dancing scene. That was probably one of my favorite parts, and really because it was kind of the start of them having a good time together.
Right, right.
So that was probably the one of the more important ones that I enjoyed. But also on the cruise ship when they had a I guess a unexpected visitor.
Right, right, right.
Well,
Mhm.
so I really enjoyed that portion when he was really upset
Mm-hmm.
because at that point that's when he had to learn what love was.
Yes.
He really understood in that moment what it felt like to like he had to make a decision. What are you going to do? How are you
Right.
going to handle this? And for in this first time where he's actually hurt. So I think that was probably one of my favorite parts as well.
I love that scene too because it showed um some it was so layered. I love that the advice that he was getting from the other men who had gone through similar things and was telling him, okay, you got to, don't freak out. You know, this is part of it. And then I loved how Tanya handled it too, because it could have just blown totally out of proportion, and she could have
Right.
been in her feelings, he could have been in his. Um, but I love the way that her response to how he was feeling.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
Jennifer was just saying when she sang to him, I loved it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It wasn't well, and I think it was important to show that because Dre really had not had a relationship like that,
Hmm.
she had to be the mature one in the
Right,
relationship to
right,
kind
right.
of teach him how, like, she had to lead with love with him. She
Hmm.
had to. So she couldn't pop off at him because that
Right.
just would have been, you know, even though
Disastrous for both. Yeah.
she didn't do anything wrong, but
Hmm.
she did, she made up for it. She made a grand gesture.
Right.
Because it was more embarrassing for him as opposed to his ego was shook.
Right.
That's really what it was.
And he wasn't used to it because he was used to women falling all over him. And that's what I love too. Tanya, even though she had a crush on him since she was a teenager, she gave him a hard time. She was not, she didn't come easily.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Yeah, he found that. He definitely found that out on that cruise. And
Yes.
just when the ex appeared, it was like, okay, wait a minute, I got some competition. Like,
Right.
like
Right.
what is? And he really didn't, but
Right. In
yeah.
his mind,
But in
yeah.
his mind, he did.
Vera is saying she loved the emphasis on topics of family and community presented in your books. So glad these were highlighted in the interview. Yes, that was one of my favorites portrayed in the book, and I can't wait to read the rest of the series. Actually, I already started book 2, so
Okay.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm
Oh,
like
great.
8-10% in already.
Mhm.
And
yes.
I think Doc gonna be my Beto. Just putting it out
I'm
there
feeling the
right
vibe
now.
already between them two, right? Yeah. Um,
Now
but
look, I
another
have to
one,
tell
even
you all something. The lady that just came on, Miss Vera,
uh-huh.
that's my 12th grade English teacher.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, welcome, welcome. I
Yeah.
love that.
So that's who used to critique my writing. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So if she likes my books, I'm excited.
I bet. Oh man, that's amazing. Um, and I like I said, I love the dancing, and then they had another one with the salsa dancing.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
love that one too. But
Yeah.
another a
Yeah, that was
standout
at the club.
was that at the club because I
Uh-huh.
can't
Yeah,
remember
that
what
was
state they
at
were driving.
Soulless.
Yeah. Yeah. And when she was dancing with one of the owner of the club, they were salsa dancing. And
Oh,
again,
okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
right. And again, that was Tanya being mature, kind of teaching him a lesson. It's like, okay, you over here talking to somebody, I'm gonna show you what you how this works.
And he had known. I think at that point he didn't. He's like, "What else don't I know about you?" Because he didn't know that she used to
Uh-huh.
teach salsa.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm. So I love that too. That they were still getting to know,
Hmm.
each other and fill each other out. Um, Now we talked about the family dynamic. Another one of my favorite scenes was the scene when they were all gathered at um, Tanya's brother's house and her sister-in-law when they were discussing their upcoming trip,
Hmm.
family trip. And one of the sisters, Melody, is going through a hard time, a hard breakup with her husband,
Hmm.
um, which has left her a little bitter. And so she's giving the family like a run for their money because, and they're trying to, they know what she's going through. So they're trying to be, patient with her.
Yeah, Melody
Um,
is on one. Yeah, she is on
yes,
one. Yeah.
yes, yes. So with her comments and stuff and her snide remarks at the reunion, and she definitely was giving Dre a hard time.
Hmm.
But he
Hmm.
was taking it all in stride. He was, it put Tanya in the middle, but he was letting
Hmm.
her know, I can handle your sister. I'm not, you don't have
Right.
to worry about me going anywhere. But I love the scene between her and Don, her sister-in-law,
Uh-huh.
when they were outside. And then,
Oh
but
yeah.
yes, because Don was not.
Dawn
She
gave
was like,
Dawn gave her the business. I was like,
yes, yes. But my favorite part was her sisters, even though they, were upset with how she was acting. But after Don read her the riot act, and they saw that she was emotional, I loved how they came and they surrounded her.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
that's the family dynamic, and it's like if you sometimes when people your friends and family when they're hurting and they we all got them family and friends who
Yes.
cut up, they real bad,
Yeah.
and like okay, well kind of what's going on, so you give them a pass, so you give, and I say you always extend people the grace that you would want extended to you
Right.
if you were in that situation, because we all go through bad things, and you have to extend people grace, and especially
Right.
if you know their heart. So they know she's a great sister, but
Right.
she's going through it with her husband, so she's not gonna be nice right now, and they
Right.
get it.
Yeah, they stood in solidarity with her out there, but still didn't give her a pass on how she was
Right.
acting towards everybody. Yeah.
Mhm.
Erica is saying the back and forth between all the couples is one of the best parts of Marlee's books. All those sisters are something else. Oh man. I can't wait to read the rest of them, Erica. But yes, because I love the dialogue and all of that, the interactions between the siblings. Uh, and like I said, I love the aspect of it being a blended family. So okay, so I had to mention this. Okay, once Dre and Tanya got started getting together, well, I guess once they went viral, well, not viral, but on the news, and people started seeing the exes started coming out the woodwork, didn't they?
Lord, yeah.
All the exes started coming back, one to be, back in the picture, which is so, reality, because that
Right.
is how it happens, right?
Right. As soon as you meet somebody else call like, now what do you want?
Right. So I related to that. Now it was interesting, the dynamic. Okay, so with the date, we have to talk about this thing. In the beginning, Tanya is on a date. I guess this was their second date, maybe. And I think one of her brothers set her up or something with him.
Yeah. She kind of right. Her youngest brother. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she wasn't really feeling them like that. She figured out on the second date, and they were at a club, and they got separated, and she waited and waited, but he didn't appear. So Dre he ended up seeing her, and he wasn't going to let her stay there, by herself. So he said, "I'll take you home." And I just love that whole scenario about the family, the date calling the brother, your sister is missing. I'm like, and it never occurred to her that her family, her family will be worried about her. So I love that.
Well, she was wrapped up in, she's wrapped up in Drake, because she's like, oh, I'll finally he's
Right,
I've never
right.
had a conversation with him like this. And he's taking me home. So she's excited. She is not worried about that date at this point. Yeah, she's like, hey,
deuces, I'm gone.
Right. She's like, I'm out of here. But she just, and she did, in her defense, she did try, but she didn't have her phone. So
because she stood there for a while waiting for him. Yeah.
She did. So, and so it had to be done, but she was not worried about that guy. She was wrapped up in Drake.
And when he gave her his socks, his brand new socks, so she could she had on those stilettos, and they was hurting her feet.
Oh man.
Yeah, Dre is a ladies. He's a ladies man, so he know what the ladies want and all that kind of stuff. So she was just tickled pink. So she was not worried about that little boring. And the guy he was nice, but he was a drag. Yeah, nobody wants to go out with a drag. So that's
I was wondering what was going to happen with that, because he kept popping up, and I'm like, okay, I hope it's not going to end up being some kind of stalker or something. But
Drake kept calling him a nerd.
Right. Oh man. Erica is saying that we're gonna love the two remaining books, and don't forget her other series that feature the other siblings and then Macy. Okay. So it's another.
Okay.
So what's the other series that she's talking about?
So wait a
That's
minute.
what I
Okay,
was gonna
so
ask too. Did Macon and Dawn and all of them have their own book?
Oh,
yes,
okay,
they
okay,
do. So Macon and Dawn was my very first book. And so that goes back to the very first series. So that's kind of when that family was formulated. So you have Macon and Dawn, then you have the third brother, which is Donald. But it was based on Dawn and her friends. That was the very first
okay.
series. But it included, you will see that family in that book. And then we switch over to the next series, which is Slick, Wet, and Ride. And the family is in there as well. That's one of the other. Wet is Dale's book. So each of the brothers and all of Dawn's friends have books in the previous two series.
Okay, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
check
so
them
that's
out
why,
because I saw the
right.
wet and the other ones because I was like, "Ooh, I like the covers. I'm gonna have to check these out after I finish
I
this."
love the cover. I love this cover too. Now, which book is the
Thank
first
you.
one in the other series?
The very first book is Something Old,
Okay.
Something New. Yes, that's something old and something new. And that's where you will understand when you read that book, you'll understand why Melody doesn't like Dre.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes. So
And I'm like,
yeah, you'll
where's
understand.
all this vitriol coming from? Yeah.
Yeah, you'll understand, right. You'll understand as a sister to Macon
Okay, okay,
why she
okay.
doesn't like Dre. So in that book, and then the couple Donald and
Mm-hmm.
Tori, she had gone over to their house and had a talk with them, and they were kind of giving her advice, and they kind of talk about their story as well. So they are book two. There's something borrowed, something new.
Something borrowed. Okay. Um, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad you brought
Mm-hmm.
them up because when Tanya went over there for advice with Donald and Tori, they were hilarious too. And they
Mm-hmm.
when I think it was Tori who said, okay, uh what are they, redeem hoes or something she said. I can
Oh yeah, right. Reform. Yeah, they're
reform,
reform.
right.
Yeah. So right, so you'll if you read something borrowed,
Hmm.
something new, you'll understand why they said that.
Because I guess she said you
You'll
might be
get their
asking the
story.
wrong ones. Because
Right, right, right. So they have a story as
okay, yeah,
well.
I'm gonna have to dive into those. Um,
Right. So when the brothers were sitting around on the deck at the pool, I'm not at the pool on the cruise, and they were each giving
right.
him advice. They were each those were snippets from previous
Okay.
books because each of them had their own
Okay.
book. So that's what they were kind of talking about. And that's what Macon was alluding to when he was the one who gave
Right.
Dre the
Right.
most advice. Uh-huh. And that's why Dre was like, oh, I don't want to be bothered with him. So if you read book one, you'll see the
Okay.
tension between all of them.
And but
Mm-hmm.
you did a good job where I didn't feel lost because you gave just enough information to let us know
Mm-hmm.
where the a little bit of the backstory. So I did get that. Yeah.
Okay, so you
No.
weren't
Mm-mm.
confused or anything. You're like, what?
Yeah, you did a great job with that. Kendra, yes, you're right. The exes always want to spin the block. Yes, they do.
Uh-huh.
And then Yolanda is saying she agreed with Erica. I have read all of Marlee's book and love all of them. Okay. Myra, a friend to the show, she's saying that she just ordered the book. And she said, keep talking. She want
Okay.
to hear more about
She said, keep talking.
it. Myra, you are going to love Brown's Sugar. And I just started book 2 in that series and loving that already as well. Um, and then Ms. Vera saying, in Marley's, is this the one I already showed? I can't remember. Okay, Macon is her favorite guy. Okay.
Oh,
So, and some of the
uh-huh.
other male characters have a number of positive traits most desirable in men, especially black men, but Macon has the greatest. Okay. I can't wait to read his story.
Yeah, Macon was my first hero, so I have a special place for Macon. Like I like
I love
Macon.
it. Love it. Erica is saying out of the brothers, Dale's her favorite. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
say him and his hacking, and he's quiet but lethal.
Yes, he is. He is.
And Mel is saying, okay, who is your favorite? You're talking about in Brown Sugar, or I'm not sure what couple you're talking about. This you say is your favorite couple. Let us know in the comments. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything on Instagram because it doesn't always scroll up. um, she said you have read all the books. She might be talking to somebody in the audience. Okay, so um, when Tanya's ex comes back into the picture, and they had a bad. Well, he basically just up and left her. Um, so she finally is over him, and he reappears. But then he was down and dirty. He gives her some information that she didn't have in the beginning, which has her, of course, questioning. Okay, so maybe it wasn't what I thought it was. The reason for him leaving. But I love that too. The aspect of him giving her something to think about, which made Dre uncomfortable, even though he didn't know at the time, but he knew that something was going on. And he didn't like how he kept inserting himself into wherever she was. He would pop up, and of course, Dre, had a problem with that. But I like that Tanya told him. She had told him, I can't remember if it was for this situation or something else, that basically, she didn't need him to like make the other guy. I can't remember if it was him or if it was the date, that she could handle it basically.
Oh, yeah. So that was the boyfriend that she had. It wasn't the long lost boyfriend. This was a guy that she had dated. Maybe I don't think it was anything really serious. It was. I think his name was Brad. Look at me, don't even.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's why I said all the exes started coming.
Right. Yeah. So that was one of the exes that came back. But when she was talking to Brad, remember Dre came over and tried to kiss her, and hug on her and stuff. And like she told him, which was correct. She's like, listen, I don't need you to come over and do that. You should want me to want you, not you don't do that. It's not necessary because it doesn't matter whether you do it or not. People are going to do what they do. So you don't need to come over and showboat in front of the guy. So that's kind of, what she, because she said she didn't do it to him. And that was
because he also had exes. But they were more like dalliances, I guess.
Right.
Ones, he had the ones that I guess two of them that he would go back and forth between, but it was just physical.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because one of them called Tanya, was it Fun Size or something?
Oh yeah, she called her
pocket size. the pocket, look, pocket size.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess she said when you got all these curves right here, what you want with her?
And then Tanya took it at the club. Tanya took it, called her big behind.
Oh man, yes. Oh, Mel said she was talking about Donald, I guess.
Oh, okay. So that's the second book in the first series, and that is Something Borrowed, Something New.
Okay. And yes, Erica, I love Daddy Brock. I loved him. I loved his relationship with Tanya, Tanya's mother, and how close he was to all of her mother's kids, in addition to his own.
Yeah.
Because it's not always like that when you have a blended family.
No, it's not. And you'll kind of, in the very first series, you'll kind of meet how the family came to be. And I don't want to give it away for you, but you'll see how they came to be and why they all get along so well, because they're all very close in age also.
Okay. Ms. Vera saying through characters like Dale, Marlee keeps her stories on the cutting edge of personalities found in the corporate world. Okay. So Dale is the
Look at
corporate.
my English teacher.
Yes. I'm loving it, loving it. High praise. I love it. Any other standouts for you, Jennifer, in the book?
The both of the epilogues. That's all I'm gonna say. The way that he took and did what he did for
Yes, yes.
Tanya.
He was, yeah, he was.
Cause I don't want to give it away. It was so genius, and it was so good.
It was, and I love the way he loved on her.
Yes.
I love that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Let me see. And the way he jumped in, not just for her, but for her sisters at their shop when they were running, when they were short staffed or whatever was going on, he didn't mind jumping in and helping. I love that too.
Right, yeah. And that's the kind of guy you want. You want one who's gonna be supportive, and if you need help, if the family needs help, yeah, you jump right in, because she has a big family, so he has to get in there.
Right. He has and I love too how the brothers kept telling Tanya, okay, why do you have to process what's his face didn't even what's his name, Rio? He didn't even get a
reunion shirt.
They talk about a family reunion shirt. They say Dre got a shirt. That makes them proud of the family. I love it.
They take that family reunion. They take that family reunion seriously. And that's one of the things I try, like it. I want to make sure that I get the part from the male aspect. I want to make sure that I do the men justice, because we all just think differently. And I know they like he said, and that's the typical thing that a guy would say. What's the process? Either you like them or you don't. It's like, they're very simple with that. And with women, we'll go with, well, he didn't put a little something on my mind now, so I gotta think about it. I gotta think through it. Even if I know the end result, you still have to take time to think about it.
True. And that would be something that would throw somebody for a loop if you thinking that the breakup happened for one reason and it ended up being for something else. Even though he still was, we found out he was still full of crap.
But he was. But it was still like one of those things where that would really make you think about it, because you have to look at it from his perspective. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's a big deal. So it's almost like he did it out of really for her, So I could see that definitely, like, okay, I got to think about this and process it.
Right. Let me see. But it made it even easier for her when she found out he still was basically hiding stuff.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't leave with that.
No, her sisters and her brothers, they were not trying to hear. They're like, you got you the good man. What you trying to go backwards for?
Right. And as the siblings, you go hard for them siblings. It's like, I don't like them. And it's like you stand on it because you're on the outside looking in. So yeah, if you're a sibling and you don't like the other person's mate, they usually are going to know about it. Yeah.
One of my most romantic, favorite romantic scenes was aside from the dancing, because they were just getting to know each other then, but when he surprised her at the field, the sugar cane. Sugar cane. That I love that.
Yeah.
Loved it. Because for those in the audience, that's her specialty, is the sugars, the different sugars, the brown sugar. Hence the name of the book. Before we go into the first segment, Jennifer, did you have any other comments or anything from Marlee Rae?
I just want to tell you, you got a new fan, because I'm gonna read your whole catalog when I finish this series, and one funny moment for me too was when Tanya met parents and his mama go ask was she still did
Oh,
she still have her cycle or whatever because she
yes,
wanted her
yes.
baby.
She was serious about these grandbabies for real.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yes, that was funny. That was
Yeah,
funny.
and
And she
you
could
and
have,
you
Tanya could have took it, she could have been like offended or something, but she took it all in stride and laughed it
yeah.
off.
And you'll meet like in the very first book, you'll see Dre's mother and you'll understand her more as to like what's going on with her and these grandkids. So
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. She wants those grandkids. So
Oh, I
yeah.
love it. I
So
love it. Oh man,
thank you.
it was such a great read. Me and Jennifer both are avid readers, so we read a lot,
Uh-huh.
and I truly enjoyed the story, and it's a testament that we both have started already into the second the second book. um, and I can't wait, like Jennifer said, to check out the other series that you were just talking about in the other catalog, and of course, I still plan on reading Macy with
Uh-huh.
Whip and Fade. You all, if you haven't read that as well with Marlee Rae and Bailey West, check
Mm-hmm.
that out as well. And if you missed the show with Bailey West, you can go back through and check that out. It was a good show
Mm-hmm.
as well. But yes, I loved it, and I loved having you on the show and being able to discuss it. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And thank you
You're
for all of the support. I'm glad you ladies like the books, and I look forward to hearing what you think about the next book in the series. And if you
mhm.
go back and read the other ones, definitely give me your feedback and let me know what you think about those as well.
I definitely will.
Definitely will.
And Zahara is saying, thank you for the audiobooks. Okay, so they're in audio too. Okay.
They are.
So I'm gonna have to hear the voice of who you have for Dre. But yes, I'm looking forward to reading the rest of them, and then I will reach out to you. Before you go, is there anything that you have coming up that you can discuss?
Who child? So I don't even know. I'm working. I'm trying to get things done, but I am working on a book, but I just don't know. And ordinarily I would say, oh yeah, it's gonna be out. But me and that we have been fighting. So
It's been a struggle. Well,
right. So
you did already say that you and Bailey are doing the Whip and Fade series. So you have what about you said four more books coming out in that series? It's gonna be okay.
so we have two each. So we're shooting for like the end of this year. That's what the plan is.
Okay.
So the end of this year to get the next set in the series out. But of course we're also working on other books individually. So I have a couple of projects that I'm working on kind of simultaneously. I hope to have one done very, very soon. But again, if the people stop talking, I can't write. So I just I'm just about done with one, but I don't know. The people they have been on and off. So they
Mhm.
in and out. So we will see. I hope I can finish this one within the next couple of weeks, but your guess is just as good as mine. I don't know. I
Now,
don't.
are you done with these characters and this family, or are you doing any other spinoffs?
No,
Any
I do.
plans?
So I did a spinoff for a novella for a Christmas book
Okay.
from this series. So I did that, and
Mhm.
then I have a couple of, maybe a couple more that I'm thinking of, but
Mhm.
I don't know. But the next two will definitely, especially the one with Bailey, and the very next one that I hope to get out within the next few weeks. Those are definitely they're still going to take place in Greenwood, so you
Okay.
will still see some of the characters because
Oh, I
that's
love
where
that.
yeah, it'll still be in the St. Louis area, so you'll still some of the other characters will pop up from time to
Okay.
time.
Love
Yeah.
that because I love this world that you all created in this city. of Greenwood. So I can't wait to read more about it and more about these characters. And so I'll check out the Christmas book too because I love Christmas stories.
Okay. Yeah, that's a novella, so that's a short one. But don't read that one until you finish book 2 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so don't read that one till that's the fourth, kind of the fourth one, I would say.
Okay. I can't wait. All right. Well, thank you so much again for coming on the show, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we're going to get into our second segment where me and Jennifer will be giving you, it should be an exit on there, Marlee, I believe.
Okay, I'm looking for it.
I know you're not the only one.
Okay, I see. Okay, now bye for real this time, ladies.
Okay.
Bye.
We do our weekly highlight, and again, it doesn't have to be anything that we read recently, but something that stood out to us. Usually 4 and 5 star reads, and that we want to share with other book lovers. If you have read any of our highlights, please let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on the book. And if you end up reading any that we highlight, please also let us know. All right, Jennifer, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, let me bring it up. All righty. You have the floor.
My highlight for what I read it last week, was Broken Clocks. I finally broke down and finally read it. Everybody was telling me that I needed to read it. And it's by Danielle Allen. And all I can say is the ending took me out. The ending took me out. But it's such a beautiful story. Beautiful story. Yes. I'm gonna read the synopsis because if I tell you, I'm gonna give the book away. But I mean, read it. All I'm gonna say is have some tissues ready.
And I had Danielle Allen on the show a while back, and it wasn't about this book though. But I told her on that show that I hadn't read this because of the title, because I don't like trauma books. And then I think somebody had mentioned, like you just said, to have tissue ready. So I haven't delved into it yet. I haven't been brave enough yet, but I may pick it up now that you're saying.
Go ahead and pick it up, Cheryl, and read it, and then you can fuss with me afterwards.
All right.
Here's the synopsis. According to my grandmother, a broken clock being right twice a day meant that any given situation, perfect timing only happens twice. I fell for William Grayson in a matter of minutes. The connection between us was undeniable, but our timing was off. I was dating someone, and by the time I was single again, he was taken. And a year later, when we finally got together, it was clear that we were soulmates. But circumstances out of our control cut our time short. We were a little older, a little wiser when our paths crossed again. I was entering a new phase of independence in both my career and my life. He was growing professionally and moving to a new city. And even though our timing was off, it was still clear that we were soulmates. But for the second time, circumstances out of our control cut our time short. My grandma was a wise woman, but my love life taught me that there's no such thing as perfect timing. There's just timing because nothing is perfect. There's just right now because tomorrow is a promise. For as long as we known each other, William and I just wanted to be together. It was as simple and as complicated as that.
Love the synopsis.
Yes, it was.
I like this cover too.
It was so good. It was like I couldn't stop reading it until I finished it.
Okay.
I even made a post about it on my Facebook because I had to take a day to just, I was in that book hangover stage, and
Mm-hmm.
I knew I had to start Brown Sugar for the show tonight. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I'm still feeling the effects from broken clocks, but it was so good, and she did an amazing job with it. It
And
was
it probably was a good change of pace too from this to brown sugar too.
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
whole different, it was a whole different book. We still got the romance and everything in it, but it was just, woo, like I said, when you read the ending is gonna take you out because it's a letter at the end. And
Oh
I
my
was back
goodness.
I was back there in my bedroom. All I'm gonna say, I was in tears. That's all I'm gonna say. I was in tears, and I'm pretty sure Erica probably done read it too.
I know, Erica. Have you read it? Okay, so Katina is saying it's on her TBR to be read. So, and like I
Go,
said,
go, go ahead, look, go
have
ahead
been
and
staying
read
away
it.
from it just because of. But I already know that Danielle Allen can write her behind off. So it's just a matter. I didn't want to read anything too heavy at the time, um, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Then you can fuss at me when you finish. But it's a beautiful story, and I mean, I took so many gems from it because, like the
Okay.
synopsis that said,
I love that. Yes, Erica. She said, "Yeah, Danielle gets you in your feelings." Yes, yes, yes.
it's,
Um,
she definitely got in minds, and I reached out and told her how she had me in my feelings.
yes, I'm gonna definitely have to go ahead and check it out.
In
Um,
fact, when we do our top reads, this is my top read for
okay.
2025. When we
Oh,
do,
that's high praise. Okay, yes, I'm definitely. Uh, Katina is asking you, Jennifer, how long is the book?
I think it's like 260 some pages.
Okay, okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, I finished it
Um,
in a few hours. Tell her no, I didn't get a long book this time
right, because they always talk about us with these old long
with
books.
our long books.
Oh man.
225 pages.
Okay, that's not bad at all. Okay. Yeah, we can knock that out in no time. Um so I will go ahead and pick it up and
Go
because
ahead and
that's
pick
high
it up,
praise
Cheryl.
if you said it's going to be on your top 5 for the year. So
It's go-
yeah. Um what does Erica say? If you borrow it in Kindle Unlimited, you get the really, you get the audio too. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Most definitely, most definitely. Okay, so mine. Let me get my notes. Mine is one, and I was telling Jennifer off camera. Mine is one that I read during the height of the pandemic back in 2020, and like I was telling you all, I love um, a story that incorporates music, and this was a story that had music all throughout. So let me bring it up. And this was my first read by this author as well. Love and the lyrics.
Oh, I
Um,
read that one, Cheryl.
have
Yes.
you? Yes,
Yes.
falling for the music
That was my
logo.
first book by her. I read her in the pandemic too.
Yep, Anisha L. Jackson for those listening later. And I love this cover too. But it's been a while since I read it, but I went back and read my review too. But I love this book. And only thing I remember is it ended up in a cliffhanger, which I do not like cliffhangers.
Yep, it
And so
did.
it is a book two that I haven't read yet. I'm gonna have to skim back over this one before I read two, but I remember loving this book. um, okay, so it was released in June of 2020. and it is series. Is book one. This is book one of two. The page count is 212 pages. See there, Erica. I read something that was the page count is 212, and it is available on Kindle Unlimited. At least it is as of the date of this broadcast, because you know they can take it in and out. So, but as of now, it is on Kindle Unlimited, and so is book two. The synopsis is. Let me put on my glasses. Okay. The synopsis reads: L. Jameson is engaged to popular R&B singer G.T. Wells. The pair fell in love and vowed to be there for each other no matter what. So when an opportunity arose, L put her dreams of becoming a singer on hold while GT pursued his dreams. She thought they were well on their way to starting their lives together until the fame went to his head. What started off as a fairy tale is now a nightmare filled with paternity tests, groupies, and disrespect. She wants to break free but feels she has no way out. Will she change her mind before her wedding date approaches? Music mogul Xavier Morrison is one of the top producers and songwriters in the music industry. After losing his wife and child a few years ago, he has sworn off finding love and having a family of his own. He pours himself into his work and changes women like he changes his underwear. Xavier has no plans to change his ways or open his heart up again. That is until melodic beauty's voice brings not only his lyrics to life, but his battered heart as well. And that sums it up perfectly. And it's another part. As all great love songs go, the road to love is filled with drama, betrayal, and enemies at every turn. Will these two find love in the lyrics, or will their love fall flat? And then my review that I gave it 4 stars, which for me is very, very high because I really give fives. It has to be like exceptional. But so this is like a 5 star for me. This is a new author for me. I enjoyed the book. It held my attention. There were some there were some ratchet people in this book, but I did enjoy Savior and L and Savion and Pepper. I really don't do cliffhangers, but I still enjoyed the book and I look forward to the next book. Hopefully it'll be out soon. And as I pointed out, I hadn't read two yet. I haven't read two yet, so I need to go back because I do remember loving book one. So I'm excited to get back into this world because I love reading about the music industry. So that was a plus for me with this book as well. Erica says she proud of me for the 212 page count. Erica, if you haven't checked out this book, it was really, really good. And it was right on time because, like I said, we were all stuck in the house during the pandemic, and this was right on time. It was really a really good read.
Yeah, it definitely was. Part two was too. I'm gonna have to go back and do a reread because oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have to look and see if she put out anything else. I haven't read anything else by her since I read this, but she's a really good writer. I enjoyed the story. Yeah. So I highly recommend this as well. And also Jennifer's highlight. I haven't read that one, but I have read other books by Danielle Allen, and she's a great storyteller as well. So I'm sure you will also love Broken Clocks.
Yeah. Woo. I still been thinking about it too. So I mean, that's how good it was, for me.
Mm-hmm. Erica said she just added it to her wish list. Oh yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, Erica. I really enjoyed it. I felt like I was really immersed in the music scene, in the music industry with these two, because he's a music producer and she's a singer, and I loved it. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for coming out. I really enjoyed the show. And if you haven't already read Marlee Rae and the Browns Sugar, or the name of the series is She Is series, and it's 3 books, 4 with the Christmas novella. And then, like we were saying, she also has previous books with the characters that are outlined in the She Is series. So, but I really, really enjoyed it. Jennifer says she enjoyed it. She was up all night reading it, so you will not be disappointed in that either. Katina says she adding it to her TBR. Which one you talking about, Katina? Probably the you talk about the lyrics, music, the lyric one. Um, but yeah, and then I also been well, I've been skimming because I already read them. Product of the Street, because
I
we have
gotta
a chat.
I gotta
Yeah, we
reskim
have a
through that.
chat coming up on Thursday for you all in the audience. In I Aspire Books, we have a Zoom chat with E. Bowser, Product of the Street, book 1 and 2. It's 5 in the series so far, but we're only discussing book 1 and 2. And when I tell you, you will love these characters. If you like erotica and all kinds of kinks and stuff, you will love it. And she does it so well, though. She does it well, and the characters are very well developed. And I have to tell you, the men in the story are crazy. They are. I I actually told the author, I said these characters are cray because they are crazy, but you love them. You end up loving them.
When
So,
you, and when you read it, it's two fruits that you're not going to look at
oh
the same
yes, yes,
anymore.
yes, yes. Yes, you will never look at these two fruits again the same way.
The
Oh
same.
man. Just make sure you have a fan by you if you read Product of the Street. That's all you gonna need it. You gonna need it. Oh man, yes, Katina. Cray. I told you, didn't I? Katina has been devouring them, Jennifer. I told y'all because when I had, and if you haven't seen the show, she was on the show twice. So I highly recommend going back and checking out E. Bozer's two times she was on. Jennifer was the co-host on both, and I think we talked about book 1 and 2, book 1 the first time and book 2 the second time.
And we talked about book 3 because you hadn't finished 4. And I
Okay.
had finished 4 because I thought we was going to talk about 4 too. But I had finished 4. I still got to read book 5.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, Katina said yes, the fruits. Erica, if you have not read Product of the Street, oh man, you have to check it out. You have to check it out. You will thank me. But yes, and if you can, I hope you can join us on Thursday at 7 Eastern. It's from 7 to 8:30 on Zoom for our chat. It should be a good discussion because man, oh man, they give us plenty to talk about in that series.
Yes, Lord.
Oh man. Okay. Well, thank you everyone. This is the end of the show for this evening. Next week is the holiday, so there won't be a show next Monday. But I'll be scheduling other shows, so just keep an eye out on the Book Buzz Show page on YouTube or Facebook, and you'll see the upcoming shows for June. Erica said, looks like I own book 1. Yes, definitely move it up. Move it up. Yes, Katina. Yes, it does. They have you questioning your preferences. Like, okay, maybe I do like that, huh? Okay. Yes. But it's so well done. She did it. And what's so funny is how I came to know her is through her paranormal books. So she used to write paranormal first, and then she came into what would you consider that, Jennifer? Contemporary romance or urban stuff? But
I say urban erotica.
erotica, yeah.
Because when them fruits came into play, I wanted to be one of them fruits.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Yes, you will love them. Erica, believe me. Um, yes, so I'll like I said, keep an eye out on the Book Buzz Show YouTube and Facebook page for the lineup coming up in June because next week is the holiday, so I'm not having the show that day. All right, thank you everyone for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and please continue to get lit with the Book Buzz Show. All right, everyone. Good night.